All right, so it turns out everything seems fine here actually. The reason we're not seeing those ticks here is if we go to our database, we're going to see that the messages we are looking at this one and this one, which is hello Mary and yay, which have 00 on seen, and received, which is hello Mary and yay. So it's actually working just fine. This is the message with the received, and only Mary is supposed to see that. So what I'm going to do is log in as Mary, and I'm going to open a different browser here. I'm going to log in as Mary and see if I'm going to see those blue ticks on the other side. Then we can try a little conversation here. So let me try and let me paste that there so I can log in. So here I will log in as Mary at yahoo.com and password there. Great. So let me reduce this one, put it here so we can see both. Great. And that one there. Okay, so this is the new one where I'm acting as Mary. So I'm just going to click on that user there, and as you can see, even though this is the worst browser in human history, but you can see it's actually showing something there, and not as elegant as this. And here I can see that my messages have now been received, and you can see the ticks here, they've been received by this person. So if I was going to, for example, click here, you'll see that the ticks will change to blue. So let me do that as I try to type something. Okay, and you see the ticks have changed to blue to show that I have actually seen this message. So let me try and type a new message here. Just say new message and send that. So that's a new message there, and as you can see, it's showing me that it's been received there. And the moment I click on this thing or somewhere here, begin to type, it will change to a blue as it has done there. So let me try and send one on the other side as well. New other message, like that. Okay, and so it goes on to the other side here as well. Here you can see it's been received, and when I click there, it will show a blue. Wait for it. Ooh, okay, there we go. So now I want to close this one and show that if I send without this user being here, we are not going to see it say it's been received. So I'm going to close this one, close all, and then let me send last message, hit send, and as you can see, it's not showing that it's actually been received. Okay, which means it's actually working. Okay, so great, so far so good. Now what we want to do is put some sounds as I am sending and receiving these messages, right? So that we can have some sounds. Okay, so I have a few sounds here that I got. You see they'll be part of the link in the description. So there's a message sent and message received. I think these are iPhone sounds. Yeah, that's the sound right there. And then there's the message received here. Yeah, so we're going to use both those sounds to send and receive our messages. So just copy those files and put them in the same folder as the index.php page, and just take note that what they are named. So I've named them message received and message sent accordingly. So all we need to do is go to the index page right here, and at the very top here we can load these messages, these two sounds. Let me come back here. So just make sure whatever sounds you're loading, they are quite small in size. So this one is 14 kilobytes and this one 15 kilobytes. So very, very small sounds. The smaller the better. So here, let me try and say let me just shortcut it and say send audio is equal to audio, like that, and then we can put the link to that audio right there. So this is how you load a sound in your browser. So received audio, and so the path to these is simply message. Let me try and use message sent.mp3. so message received.mp3, like that. So once I have these sounds, now I can simply play them. So sent audio, boom. So now what I want to do for sent audio is to have it play that sound when I actually manage to send a message. So I only know that the message has been sent if I see it here being received again. So that's when we should play that sound. So I'm going to come here to where is that? Chats refresh, is it? Wait a minute. Oh yeah, this is the problem we have, because when we actually send a message, the receiving end is still chats. Where is that? Okay, maybe let's play the sound when actually sending this thing. So chats, get data, send message right here. So after this, we can play the sound, though it's better to play the sound when we receive the message. So I'll see how we can try to actually do that. So send message. Actually, what we can do is send message here. It's better to play the sound when the message has appeared here. So what we will do is, let's make a few changes. So let me go to chats here. So if you remember very well, in API.php here, whether we are sending a message like send message, oh, we're actually loading send message, right? Oh, very good. So let me open send message here. The only difference is that at the end of it all, we are still returning the data type as chats. So what we should do is simply change this. Let me change this to send underscore message. That way we can come back here in index.php and actually have a separate receiving side for this. So instead of chats here, what we can do is to copy exactly how chats is like, case chats, like that, and then we're just going to change this to send message, right? So that the response is exactly the same as it was, except this time we can play a sound. So let's see here, messages holder. Okay, so everything is good here. So the only difference is that at the bottom here, oh, actually, instead of, wait a minute, case. All right, so what we can do, instead of repeating code like this, actually there's a better way. So what I can do is I can just go to send message here. Let me just move it above chats like this. So what will happen is when it's send message, it will start from here, but then because we don't put a break the way we are putting here, it will continue to this one until it finds a break. So which is good. And then when it's only chats, it will start from here, but when it's send message, it will start from there. So we can put something here in between like this. So just say send audio.play like that, and that's it. Okay, that way we can have an audio play after we receive when the message comes back, once we see the message we've sent here. So let me refresh the page. Okay, that's taking unusually long. So let me see if there are any errors in here. the audio constructor new is required. Okay, so that's where the problem is. So let's come up here. I made a mistake here. I'm just going to say new audio, like so. That's why errors are important to check. So let me refresh that. Great. So now let's go to Mary. So let's try to actually send a message. So testing. There we go. So you see the message has been sent. Testing again. Very good. All right, so let's see if we can incorporate the receiving side. So when we get new messages, now the thing is, it's going to be a bit different because remember that this thing refreshes every few seconds. So it can be very annoying if we just put that sound when we receive messages. We have to actually know that there's a new message, and so the sound should play only if the receiving side has a new message. Okay, so how can we know that we have a new message? Well, if we go back here and see if there's a message that has not been received, a message where the received is still 0, then it means we can play that sound. Okay, so let's go back here to API, actually chats, and we're only doing this on the refresh, right? So let's come down here. Now the advantage with our system, the way we've set it up, is we can easily add a new property here, as many properties as needed, and there's one here which is only added in the if statement when it's a refresh. So we can just add one more here and say data info new underscore message. So we can set this one to true or false. So let's create a variable called new underscore message. So whatever it is set to, that's what we're going to send. So let me copy this, and then let me go up here where we can detect whether there's a new message or not. So for each loop there, so just to make sure that it's set from the beginning, we're going to set it right at the top here and just say new message is equal to false, right? Now let's come down here. So update message. All right, so all we can do is we check before we do any modifications here, right? Before we modify the received status, let's check, and if we find one, then we set that to true. So let's put an if statement here. I'll just say check for new messages, right? So if we find even just one, so we're going to say if data, so if data received, okay, is equal to 0, then we know we have a new message. So new message is equal to true. We have at least one. There we go. So once we're done with that, we can just go down here. Okay, new message. Now, just to be consistent, what we can do is we can just add it to the whole thing without going into this refresh. We can just add it here so that it becomes a regular thing. So new message, whether it's a refresh or not, we can play the sound. So I think this is fine. So info new message, I'll copy that. So now when we come back to the index page, we have to search for that. So let's come back here where we are handling the result. So let's come here. This is a chat refresh, and also just chats right there. So a chat refresh here, if, for example, so we're going to say if. Now if you want to check if a specific parameter is set or not, you can do it this way. You can say if type of, like so, type off, and then you type your let's say object dot new message, like that, is not equal to, in inverted commas, undefined, like that. So right here you're checking to see if this property actually exists. So just for you to remember this, I'll leave this here. So if it's not undefined, then let's check what it actually contains. What did I do here? This was wrong, and find, like so. Oh, okay, the word wrap is on. I don't like the word wrap. Okay, so let's come back here. Now that I'm going to do that. And so if it's not equal to undefined, then check again if it is true. So I'm just going to do that. If new message, and then play the sound. So I'm going to say received audio dot play, like that. And great. So that right there will play that audio. And also we can do exactly the same thing on the chats right here. So I'm just going to leave it here. Okay, great. So let's give it a test run. Refresh the page, go here. Okay, let's see if it's going to play again. There we go. So these are the problems now we're going to be having. Messages will be playing every time. So let's see what's going on here. So what we actually need to do is to make sure that this sound only plays messages that have not messages that I am the receiver. So if we come back to where is chats.php here, let's look at send message here actually. Oh no, chats.php. Okay, so at the top here where we are checking to see right there, the problem is we are checking for messages of both that I have sent as well, that have not been received, and also that the other person has sent that I haven't received. So it should only check the messages where I am not the receiver. Okay, so in order to check for that is I'm going to copy this section right here and put it there and put the and. Okay, so if data maybe we can just put sender here. So if data receiver is not, so I am not the receiver here. Okay, so this should only work for when I am the receiver. So if I am not the receiver, oh wait, actually it should be if I am the receiver. So if I am the receiver and I haven't received, so data received is equal to 0, then new message. Okay, great. So let's give it a test run. Refresh. Let's go back here. So let's try and give it a message that somebody hasn't read. New message again. So I've sent that and I'm not getting that noise anymore, so which is great. So now let's try and use a different browser so we can receive messages here. So let's go back to our internet Edge. Terrible browser, this one. Okay, so here I'm going to log in as Mary at yahoo.com. Password. There we go. Great. So the messages I've played here because I've received new messages. Oh wait, is that the same sound that's playing here? Two different sounds should be playing here. So let me send a message and see if we get two sounds. So I'm just going to say hello. Let's wait for the other one. Okay, there we go. So you see received, and then let me send again here, hi, and the receiving, let's wait for it. There we go. Okay, so far so good. Sending and receiving messages is working well with the sound as well for new messages. All right, so far so good. I'll see you in a later video where we create a feature where we can delete some of these messages.